Thank you for clicking in to view this video. This my next video in a series of fretwork, Saw Fretwork Patterns projects. Now this comes out of an old book, Patrick Spielman book. I've done several other videos out of this book. He calls this a jewelry box. And I guess it could be a jewelry box, whatever you want to use it for. But what I've got this fretwork patterns mounted. What I'm going to do, this is the lid. And this is the front of the box. And I'm cutting that out of alder. It's the only thing I had that's large enough to do all this with, to all the pieces. Doing out of the alder, as you can see, I've got that part of the pattern twice. I've got that marked out there, so I'm not going to cut inside that area there. And this is some yellowheart. I'm going to cut it out and put that on top of there. And then I've got some more yellowheart. I've got this ripped already to the right width to cut and line inside the box. And this one will line underneath the top. So you'll have yellow showing through these. And I'm going to darken this wood, like I say, I don't know how much. Not going to get real dark on it. So I've got I got the two ends. Those are stacked. I've got the front. There's the lid. And the base is 3/8" walnut. And then the back piece that's not going to be any fretwork in is it's still a piece of alder. I've got that lined out to cut out. And so I'm going to see what I'm going to do with hinges or a latch, or if I'm going to do anything with that. Right now I'm not sure. I may make an inset for the lid just to sit down in it. I have a couple of sizes of hinges. I'll experiment with that and see what works the best, or if I do that at all. I might find a piano hinge. I'm not sure right now. I'm not totally sold on the hinge idea. I don't like using hinges on small boxes. They're kind of hard to mount and make them work correctly. But I may do that. I'm not going to get fancy on the joinery. He's showing all these different kinds of joinery. But I'm just going to do a butt joint like that. Just a basic butt joint. I'm not going to miter it or anything like that on this one. Got a lot of cutting here. I hate to mess it up trying to make the ends match properly. So anyway, I've got them mounted, got them drilled. I'm ready to start cutting, so that's what I'll do next. I'm going to cut all these pieces with a number 5. I'll probably cut that with a number 3. It's a 1/8 inch. All the yellowheart is 1/8 inch. So let me get me a new blade and I'll get started cutting on it. Okay, as you can see, I got it all cut out. I cut fairly quickly. It wasn't too hard to cut, not real complicated. But I've got this glued together. It measures out as almost perfectly square. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to position it on there and glue it. And then I'm going to sand that, make sure everything's flat, and I'll retouch that up with stain. As you see, I've got it stained also. Here I've got the lid and the piece that's going to go on top of it. And I was trying to get a contrast. I believe I succeeded. Then I'm going to have a liner in the box like that. That's my plan. It's going to be also in the walls. And I'll see as I go how well it looks. And I got plenty of this material, how far I want to go with that lining. And then I'll figure out if I'm going to put hinges on it or if I'm going to use this liner there's an inset there to hold that on. I've done that on several boxes and it works really well. I'll see when I get there how well it fits. I may go with some small hinges. But right now I'm going to glue this on the base, get it lined up, get it centered, and have to let that set a little while, and I'll mess with the top of that and start working on the lining. All right, I'm going to call this project done. I got the yellowheart lining the inside of the box also, as you can see. I like the way it looks. I like the contrast it has. I didn't put a hinge on there. I just put there's yellowheart. That yellowheart is an insert there to hold it in place. It's not hinged, like I say, just lift it off and put it on. Anyway, as I was showing this to my wife, and I usually do with the projects, as I'm going through, I show her what I'm doing and get some input and see if she likes the contrast. I like to have another eye, contrast or the way the design is going, whatever. And in the book, Patrick Spielman calls this a jewelry box. He has two versions of it. The other one has a deer on it. And I thought this was more feminine. A jewelry box to me should have been feminine. So this dove or bird, whatever it is, to me was more feminine than a deer. So as I was showing it to her, I got almost to the completed version. She told me what this box was really good for. We're coming into February. Tomorrow is the first day of February. She said that'd be a real good Valentine box filled with chocolates. So I guess my Valentine shopping is just about done. So that's probably what I'll do with it. And she's a chocolate lover. I'll fill it up with chocolate, and that'll be her Valentine's. So I hope you like that. If you do, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. This is these videos I'm doing right now, these projects are older patterns, old fashioned. The guy that designed these has been gone for over 20 years. So a lot of these are older and more old-fashioned sort of things. I've got some newer ones, so I've got some more fretwork I'm going to do, newer ones and older ones. I'm going to try to design some of my own. I've just been kind of covered up with other projects to sit at the computer and deal with that at any period of time. So stay tuned and see what I do next. And if you're not subscribed, do that and you'll know what I'm doing when it comes out. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.